Hello everyone, it's Brett here, Lionheart84. Now if you've been following my channel for a long time, you may vaguely recall the saga of my Japanese Loquat, that's Areobotrya japonica. Now this was my plant for many years, which I had in a large container at my parents' house. Now unfortunately the container was on their patio and we didn't realise it had rooted through the patio into the ground underneath, and we only found out must have been about 2 years ago now. It was covered in flower buds. It was in a very large container, and then we had some very high storms and it got blown over and it snapped the main roots that were going through the pot into the ground, and obviously that gave the plant a bit of a bad shock. So unfortunately couldn't get a large container for it because it was already in a very big container, so I decided to try and save it, that we would transplant it into my parents' garden, which was actually quite a major job because you can see the size of the plant. It was a good sort of 6 feet tall by about 12 feet wide, so we had to dig a very substantial hole for it. So when it was transplanted, it was covered in flowers and it carried on flowering, and this was, it'd be about 2 years ago now, and all of last year it looked very sickly and dropped nearly all of its leaves. Didn't get any flowers on it and obviously wasn't looking very happy with itself. But here we are 2 years later, and now this year it's made quite a good recovery in terms of growth, so I don't think there's any dangers of losing the plant now. But more interestingly, virtually every shoot has now got flower buds coming out on it, so it's obviously going to be covered in flowers probably in about 4 weeks' time. Unfortunately, in our climate here in the UK, these flower normally from late October through to November and even into December, and they have wonderfully scented flowers. The downside of their bizarre flowering times here is because the weather's cold, there are very few insects around, although it did have a lot of bees on it that particular year. There aren't so many insects around for pollinating. But more importantly, the cold weather, see if I can walk around this side, more importantly, the cold weather kills the flowers, and if any flowers do set fruit, it tends to kill the embryo fruits, because obviously the fruits have to last all of winter and then develop in the spring and early the next summer, and they're normally ready about July in this country. But my parents obviously live a little bit further out. They don't live in the edge of London like I do. They live further out, which means it's cooler here. And although the plant itself is very hardy and haven't had any problems with it, now it seems to have made a full recovery. Unfortunately, the chances of the flowers surviving over winter and the embryo fruits surviving over a winter are pretty low. I have had a couple of small fruits off this plant a couple of years ago, so I'm obviously hoping that there is a chance, if we have a mild winter, we might get some fruits early next year. They weren't very big, only about 1 inch across, but they were edible, which was a nice surprise for this country. So I'll probably come back and do a video on this in 3 or 4 weeks' time when it's in full flower, so we can see what it looks like. But I mean, technically speaking, it's my plant, but obviously now it's in my parents' garden, it isn't. But I just thought I'd do a video for anyone that saw the original Loquat videos a couple of years back. They are in my playlists. If you look at the playlist for Loquats, you'll be able to find the videos as the plant was before, when it was covered in flowers just after it had been transplanted. But it seems to have recovered okay, so I thought it was worth doing a short video. So thank you everybody for watching. Please remember to give the video a thumbs up, share it with anyone you think might be interested in growing Loquats in the UK. Please subscribe to my channel, of course, and remember to click on the bell if you'd like to get updates on new videos as they come out. I'll catch up with you all soon. Brett out for now.